All right, we're just going to keep following those 3 steps. The first step was to isolate the radical. Okay, so here's our radical. We got to get that by itself. So let's subtract 3 from both sides. 9x squared is equal to 108. Then we're going to divide by 9. So x squared is equal to, 9 will go into 10 once, 18 twice, x squared is equal to 12. All right, next step was to undo the square, or take the square root of both sides. So x here is going to be equal to plus or minus square root of 12. Now, last time on this row, that's all we had to do. We just ended right there. However, do not circle this. You will not get full points on a quiz for this answer. Why not? That is right. You can simplify this square root of 12. Okay, so always check to see if you can simplify that a little bit. 12 right here is 4 times 3. So when we take the square root of those individually, the square root of 4 just goes to a 2. Still put the plus or minus 2. And then we have that square roots of 3. So plus or minus 2 square roots of 3 are the 2x values right there. All right, let's try another one. Look at how fun these look. X squared, again, I've got to get that all by itself. We've got to get rid of all this mess, the negative, the 1/2, the plus 1. Let's do the plus 1 first. So we're going to subtract 1 from each side. I still have that negative 1/2 x squared is equal to negative 40. Now, remember, this is basically this negative 1/2. I'm just really dividing this x squared by 2. That's what it means. If you multiply something by 1/2, you divide it by 2. Multiply it by 1, divide it by 2. So we're just going to do the inverse, or the opposite of that, and we're going to multiply by a negative 2 on both sides. Okay, then this just wipes out. Then I've got negative 2 times negative 1 is a positive 2 divided by 2 is just 1x squared right there. That's what I want. And negative 40 times negative 2 is a positive 80. Nice work. Now let's take the square root of both sides, and x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 80. Can we leave it there as a square root of 80? No, of course not. All right, so 80 right here is 16 times 5. So we're just going to go ahead and take the square root of 16. Square root of 16 is 4. Square roots of 5 right there is square root of 80 simplified. Okay, so don't forget to simplify those. All right, let's try this next one, and then we'll try the others on a separate video. Again, we've got to isolate this square, get it all by itself. Let's subtract 4 from each side. We've got 2/3 x squared is equal to 12. Again, guys, remember, in fact, let's do this in 2 steps. This still scares people. You can just multiply by the reciprocal, but if you forget that, please just undo. This 2 is multiplied to x squared, and then everything's divided by this 3. So we can undo it. Let's undo that divide by 3 first. We're going to multiply both sides by 3. So I have 2x squared is equal to 36. Then I can just divide by 2, and x squared is equal to 18. All right, now we just square root both sides. Take the square root of x squared. That gives me an x equals plus or minus square root of 18. Can we simplify? Of course we can. We're going to rewrite that 18 as 9 times 2. Take the square root of each of them individually, and x is equal to plus or minus 3 square roots of 2. And you're finished with that one. All right, we'll try these binomials down here on the bottom in our next video.